we had to go to the IMF. But you don't just walk into the IMF like that. And we needed to do that fast. And so even though we had written to the IMF, they were taking their time to set up a mission and all that, and come and do a pre-assessment and all that. Meanwhile, we needed this to happen fast, so that the economy could start to come out of the hole in which it was. And so I discussed it with Otumfuo. One of the times I went to Kumasi and I discussed with him and I said, look, we've decided to go to the IMF, but the IMF are dragging their feet and it's taking too long for them to make a decision. But I know you have contacts, with some of these leaders of international finance institutions. So I want you to, get involved and see how you can get us into a program. So he quickly agreed. And I agreed with him. He said he'll go and talk to Jim Wolfenson, who was his very good friend and former managing director of the World Bank. So he called Wolfenson, he got an appointment and everything. So we facilitated it. He came to Accra and he flew to Geneva or somewhere where Wolfenson was. He went and met him. And he went with Wolfenson to US and went to the IMF office and met Lagarde, who was the head of IMF at the time. And she went and talked to him and said, look, my country wants to get into a program. Your people are taking too long. These are the issues. Of course, we had briefed him what the issues were. And so Lagarde, said, oh, okay, we'll deal with it. And so she called the mission chief for Ghana and all that and gave them instructions. And then we noticed that things started moving quicker. And then eventually we signed off on the IMF program.
Since 1999, when Otumfuo Osei II was installed as the 16th occupant of the gold stool, he has worked with and supported the various central governments in the country to promote the various national development agenda, starting with the John Agyekum Kufuor administration to the current administration of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. These include the HIPIC initiative.
If Otumfuo had not been there in Washington at that time to influence his friends to work on IMF, I don't know what would have become of Ghana's budget. And people may not know. But for that HIPIC success, I tell you, perhaps the economy of Ghana today might not be the same. We wouldn't have made the headway. We moved from, if you would remember, the lows of something like 400 US dollars per capita, 2001, 2002 and thereabouts. By 2006, Ghana hit per capita GDP of $1,300. That was what moved Ghana from
the doldrums, perhaps,
to middle income.